So, for those watching the video version of the podcast, Closer to Indigo by Maria Koropecki, I'm holding the book up here. It's a beautiful purple to violet. So, I'm going to shift gears again on you.
Okay.
And I want to talk about this work with crystals.
Oh,
I know almost nothing about it. You mentioned in the book the passage you were talking about even just generally like rocks, even and the amylites. The crystals in the stone, they're in a certain orientation, in a certain lattice. Like you made it very spiritual, just talking about the rocks. At least that's how it came across to me, and it made me very curious. Tell me how you got interested in them and how you use them to your and your clients' advantages.
so I'm a nature lover. Part of me wishes I was more interested in science when I was younger. And geology is something that's really fascinating to me. History, natural history through rocks, how our planet even exists, and the universe, and all that. So we're made up of elements and minerals and so forth. Hard to believe that we're like water and electricity, My interest in like crystals started with my father, who was in the Navy, and he would travel all over the world. And when he traveled, he brought back some jewelry for me and my mom, and he would give my mother the good stuff and me the lesser good stuff. And so I amassed this collection of this lovely jewelry. And then also my great aunt was very much into fashion, and she was very beautiful, and she had her jewelry. And so my father, when she died, he gave me some of her jewelry. So I have some of her jewelry in my collection as well. So it's a connection to my ancestors. And so to me, when you really think about geology and rocks and crystals, and as a metaphor, the rocks with pressure, heat, or extreme temperatures and time can turn into something that's solid, into something that's translucent. Like if you look at diamonds, for example, they could have either become coal or they could have become diamonds. It's very close. And so how something can transform over millions of years or thousands of years into something that's translucent, to me, that's a living thing. It's got its own life energy in it. Rocks aren't just dead weight. They move. I looked at it as a metaphor. It's like, well, if a rock can do that, then people can do that. And so I use the crystals with their different colors, their shapes, their structure, where they come from, their folklore, their names. And I weave that into metaphor for people to look at things more positively. So I do this thing called a crystal mapping session. It's a heart-to-heart conversation where we figure out where we are now and where we'd like to go next using the wisdom of crystals. And so I have a conversation, like a coaching conversation with someone about like what they want to do, what's going on in their life, And then I ask them to choose 3 crystals from the map. And here's what the map looks like for the video viewers. And I asked them to choose 3, and then we weave them back into the conversation. And then it's about talking about building a new business. And then they pick a crystal that's like about prosperity. And so it sort of links up. It's synchronistic. It's really awesome how the crystals people choose really line up with what we've been talking about. And so I offer crystal mapping sessions as part of my way to get to know people. I would be happy to offer a crystal mapping session. Normally they're $99 Canadian, but I could offer them for $50 Canadian to your viewers and listeners as a special treat. And for you, Tom, I'd love to give you one for free.
Okay, so all you have to do is mention the Deep Work Experience podcast, and you will honor that essentially 50% off coupon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
And on behalf of my listeners, thank you as well.
All right.
Well, I would definitely love to try that sometime. So
Yeah, well, we'll arrange something.